What is up guys, welcome to another video. Now I thought this one needed a little bit of context as I actually forgot to introduce the video while I was away. It was the first time I'd ever taken a camera away with me, so excuse the poor vlogging skills at the start, but I promise in the second half of the video and in the later parts it does improve. Now me and one of my pals went on a 26-day interrailing trip around Europe. Just a little caveat to that, it wasn't a true interrail because we did get other modes of transport too. We just wanted to do it on as cheap a budget as possible. So I'm going to split the entire trip down into 3 parts, this being part 1. So squeezed into this video are 3 countries and 4 of our 11 stops. If you are going interrailing yourself, I would highly recommend you get a cheap camera or even just use your phone, because I've loved editing this video. You get to live the whole trip a second time and it's just there forever for you to watch. So yeah, I hope this video inspires you to go interrailing, or if it's already planned, I hope you have a really good time. So this is the Stranger Tides hostel. It's in a village called Dubrovnik, which is sort of the next village down the coast from Kotor, which is kind of where the action is. We're in a private 2-person dorm, as you can see behind. Private dorm, more like a private little cave here. Yeah, it's basic, but it cost us £22 per person per night, which, you know, you can't go wrong with that, but you do get what you pay for. So yesterday we had a bit of a wander around the old town, went out to a few bars last night. I think today the weather's not meant to be so good, but we'll still try and get a few things ticked off because we've only got really 1 full day here before we're on the move tomorrow. So even though the hostel was crap, it did at least look out onto this. Within 12 hours of touching down in Montenegro, we managed to get ripped off by 2 different taxi drivers, and I left my sunglasses in one of them, so it was fair to say I'd already learned my first lesson. What is that? What?
What are they?
I don't know. If anybody knows what the hell one of those is, then please let me know. Anyway, here are some of the views from Kotor Fortress. It was a bit of a hike to the top, but just look at that. Look at those views, absolutely insane. What a vibe. That's really one of the reasons why we picked to visit Kotor rather than somewhere else in Montenegro, because there's just sick views like this everywhere. There's loads of little towns around the bays, Kotor being one of them. Tivat was another good one that we visited, Budva as well, just an amazing place.
Here, right? Look at that lens. Do you think it's got a scratch in it? Hold the camera and look at the lens. Like, try and get it in good lighting. No. It's recording.
So one of the best and worst things about interrailing is the short amount of time you end up spending in each place. It's great because you get to see somewhere that you maybe wouldn't have visited for a week straight, but you're always left wanting when it's time to leave. So it was time to move on despite only seeing Montenegro for 2 days really. Now this short journey to Dubrovnik actually ended up taking quite a while at the border, which meant that by the time we got there we'd wasted a good chunk of the day. We went quite bougie for a backpacking trip and rented this pretty smart Airbnb, if I do say so myself. For sure a bit of an upgrade on the cave that we stayed in Montenegro.
I got summer on the inside.
So I'm just down at the marina in a little quiet spot. There's always been something about Croatia that I've liked that I can't really put my finger on. The locals are really friendly. It doesn't feel just like Brits abroad. and the beers are really good. So there's not much better combo than that.
I got summer on the inside. So if we just think about the good, ignore the bad, we could turn this around. Plus, no matter what, I got summer on the inside.
I have to laugh, you get to go in these cool expensive places, but nobody there knows that you haven't showered in 2 days and you're staying in a scruffy, horrible hostel.
I got summer on the inside.
We just got the cable car from Dubrovnik town up to this panorama restaurant at the top of the cliff, just having an expensive pint and admiring the view. Now if you are interrailing, I would say definitely be willing to spend money. You're only there once, so you might as well enjoy yourself. This pint was £10, which is ridiculous, but after all, you're on holiday. It is a known fact that there is no better hangover cure than a sea breeze, so we hired a boat for the day. That isn't straight at all.
How do I hold it straight? It is straight.
No, stop. I don't even know what I was going to say.
It's on a wonk.
Day 3, we've hired a boat, just 2 of us. Fairly expensive, but we've got 8 hours, so basically the whole day. We're at a place called the Blue Cave now, which is pretty busy. It was small, but worth seeing definitely. Tons of sea urchins, which kind of scared us, so we've made a dart back to the boat and we're off to a new place called the Green Cave. Then I think we're going to stop at one of the only sandy beaches around here. It's probably the downside of coming to this area is the beaches are really pebbly, but I think this is supposed to be a sandy one on an island, so we'll head over there, get some food, have some beers. See you in a bit. These are absolutely goated, by the way. If you don't know, then get to know.
That speaker's gonna fall off.
What?
That speaker's gonna, that nearly fell out, the speaker. Here, we need
1 sec.
Oh shit.
Stay you. We're just in a little island off Dubrovnik. This isn't the main coast, it's just, I'll put a map up if I can find it. Don't know the name of this little beach, but I will definitely find it because it is worth recommending. Drop the anchor at about 3 foot. Just gonna chill out here, catch some rays, a few beers. My hair is an absolute mess, so much for sea salt. All these boats, which one is ours? Some really nice looking ones. And that one is ours.
No.
Oh, it's been an eventful little afternoon on the water. 2 near misses. I'm not sure, to be honest, how the rental guy actually let us go in the end. He set us going from the little docking thing, absolutely clueless. Neither of us could tie a knot in the anchor. Neither of us knew how the engine worked. And then, first thing, as he was still watching, we almost sent ourselves into a wall about 5 meters away, and he's shouting, "What the f*** are you doing?" Someone sat sunbathing, had to push us away to stop us. So I don't know how he let us go, but he didn't really have a choice when we set off. It's just been a chilled afternoon, to be honest, catching the tan, which is unlike me, but look, yeah, still looking a bit pale, but so we're at Dubrovnik bus station, just about to leave, heading for Slovenia. It's burnt to a crisp and peeling, so feeling really sore. We've got 13 hours ahead of us. Hopefully we've got some Wi-Fi and internet, but because the England game's starting in half an hour, so obviously by the time this video is out, we'll know whether we won the Euros or not. But yeah, probably going to be the low point of the trip, this 13-hour journey, but we shall see. Arriving at 7 AM in the morning.
It's not gonna blow up that. I don't think that's ever gonna blow up.
So we spent the entire day pretty much after we checked out the Airbnb at 10 o'clock chilling. Not really on a beach, but kind of just like on a rocky side, really clear waters. It was like the grounds almost of a 5-star hotel. Got a drink from the bar, that's where the toilet was, and he basically just invited us inside. The toilet had a really nice shower in it as well, with soaps in there, so we actually managed to freshen up. So one positive to take is that we're not getting on this coach feeling salty and covered in sun cream. Now I can't say I recommend doing the overnight coach, to be honest. Even with earplugs and a neck pillow, there always manages to be that one weirdo keeping you awake. It also doesn't help that the buses do stop in the middle of the night in other cities and at border checkpoints. So by the time we arrived, we both felt extremely rough and greasy, and that is what you call not ideal, especially when you can't check into your hostel until 3 PM later that day. We've made it to Slovenia. We're in the capital, Ljubljana, looking and feeling very worse for wear. 13 hours on the bus with very minimal sleep. Could be feeling better, but right now we're up at the castle. Thought may as well, before we can check into our hostel room, we may as well tick off a few of the tourist attractions. So first one being the castle. I think it's about as quiet as you're going to see it all day. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning right now. There's the odd dog walker and runner about, but it's literally just us. So we have about 1.5 days and a proper night here. So we really want to make the most of it. Tomorrow we are on the move again. Travelling by train this time, not half as bad of a journey, so let's make the most of this day we've got. So if for some reason you ever happen to find yourself in Ljubljana with nothing to do, my number one recommendation would be to hire a bike. It's stupidly cheap, it's like £1 per day. Just remember to not consent to marketing emails when you sign up, because 3 months later and I'm still getting emails in a foreign language about bike hire. So yeah, especially if you've only got 1 or 2 days, I think it's definitely the best way to see the whole city.
Outside this strange little thing, which on the map is called Ljubljana's own weather. Bit strange, no idea what it is, but basically just a sprinkler suspended in the sky, which is pretending to be fake rain, but it's about 25 degrees at 10 AM, so not sure what that's all about, bit strange. You look like you're staring at the kids on this camera. Right, so this is supposed to be traditional Slovenian food. It's a dumpling. There's loads of different types of dumplings in here. Some sweet, some savoury. This is, what is it, white chocolate? What? Vanilla and white chocolate?
Vanilla and white chocolate, yeah.
Just a bit like a cake, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here's the mandatory hostel tour. Got to do this everywhere we go. This was definitely one of the better ones. It was called the Party Hostel, and all the reviews said there was actually a nightclub underground, but we couldn't find anything. But there was a cool little bar area downstairs. Anyway, here's our private room, but the kitchen and bathroom areas were all shared. This place was huge, and it's definitely the place to be if you're backpacking through Slovenia. It was clean, it was tidy, and I think this gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
So I'm sat by the river in the centre of town just having some breakfast. I've already been on a wild goose chase this morning around every single barbershop in the city. It feels like every single one was appointment only, so I'm going to have to look overgrown for a bit longer on this trip. Like an absolute state at the moment. Anyway, we're heading to the train station shortly to go to a town called Bled. I have a feeling that that might be the highlight of the trip. Could be wrong, but we really want to maximise our time there. So we're up pretty early this morning and heading off. Having only spent less than 48 hours in this country so far, and my impressions are actually really good. Not that I thought they were going to be bad. I actually had a look at Skyscanner yesterday to see which UK airports fly directly here, and the answer is not many at all. So because of that, there's not really any UK or, for that matter, any other really tourists here. Another thing I've noticed that's worth pointing out is hay fever. And my god, have I noticed it. It's as bad as pretty much anywhere I've been. So if you are going to be travelling through Slovenia, make sure to pack your antihistamines, definitely. The food has just arrived. Let me show you where I'm sat right now.
Welcome to Bled. So we're finally here after about 3 hours of a mix of bus and train. Train randomly terminating midway through our journey.
It's no better than the UK really with the replacement buses. But we've made it. It's 4 o'clock now, so we're going to go and do the toboggan.
Let's go round again. Maybe we'll turn back the hands of time. Let's go round again. One more time.
Another day, another castle and viewpoint. This one might be the best one so far. This is obviously Lake Bled behind. It's definitely the best viewpoint. Maybe not the castle, but I'll insert some clips of stuff over the top. We climbed up about 15 minutes. It cost €17, which is kind of on the steep side, but when you're away you've got to do stuff like that. So the views are actually incredible up here. Maybe some of the best so far, and we're probably on our 4th castle now. So yeah, we spent this afternoon on the toboggan, which was well worth the money, and it was super quiet as well, so you kind of go at your own pace. Get some really good views from up there.
When the bells rang, I wasn't ready for the playground heavies. Wasn't useful with my fists yet, like my granddad Freddie. So I played class clown until the tears came down. Oversensitive in envy of the fun you found. I waste away my wayward days straight from your sweetheart parties. Outside the in crowd flipping burgers far from golden arches. 14 and them gagging for that late night draw. If you could pry my greedy eyes off being 64. But then I simmer down and suss out my own crowd. It feels like truth will drop the dust, they taste like deep inside. And when it hits I realise my body flows like water. My body flows like water. My body flows like water.
All these words. Orange ones look way better. Look at yours.
We're at Vintar Gorge, which is about an hour out walking, that is, from Bled. It was a sweaty walk, it's about 28 degrees. And they've given us a helmet for some reason. It's not clear why, but everyone's got one. And they're not the most fashionable things I've ever seen. That is fashion, that.
Now if you visit Vintar Gorge, do bring some comfy shoes. We walked from our Airbnb in Bled, which took us about an hour each way, although you can get a shuttle bus. But once you're there, you walk a set trail through the gorge and then you follow a route back through a woodland sort of area. The whole trail takes probably 2 hours plus the distance to and from Bled, so yeah. The route itself can get quite busy during peak time, so if you want the place to yourself, I do recommend going quite early when the place is just opened.
So we're very well earned.
Beer.
Burger, beer as well.
Beer as well, yeah. Well, how long have we been out walking now? About
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
2.5 hours, yeah.
I've never seen a more well-earned pint of, what's it called, Lasco.
Yeah, or Union.
2 large beers, please.
So our time in Slovenia was up, which brings us to the end of part 1. Like I said, there was some certainly poor camera skills in the making of this video, but it does improve throughout the trip, I promise. If you do think it was a good video, please drop a like, it was greatly appreciated. Next up, we're heading to Italy.